How's it going, everybody? Jake from St. Cloud Shields here, and today I'm going to talk about my top 3 bass fishing setups. I know it isn't realistic for an angler to have 20 to 25 rods in their deck at all times like a professional angler, so I'm going to kind of break down my top 3 if I was going to go out bass fishing today, what I would have on my deck. The rod that's going to be in my hand the most is going to be a SCHEELS Expert rod, anywhere from a 7-foot to 7'3" medium heavy action rod. What I really like about this is I can do it all. I like to throw chatterbaits, spinnerbaits, topwaters, Texas rigs, jigs. You can really do anything with this rod. I like to use pretty much like a medium speed reel, so like a 7-foot or a 7.1 to 7.3 gear ratio reel, so you can kind of do everything with it. My next rod that I'm going to have on my deck is going to be a 7'4" to 7'6" heavy action rod. This one in particular is a SCHEELS Expert Pro rod, and I really like it because I can get into heavy cover with it, so that's where I'm going to be using it the most. Heavy flipping and thick cover, or even like topwater frogging, I'll have 40 to 65 pound braid rigged up on there so I can take control of the fish once it dives down into thick weeds. A lot of times when you're frogging, you want to have that longer rod because you'll send out a cast, you'll be working that bait back, and all of a sudden right away you'll get smacked by a fish right on the top water, and you want to have that 7'4" to 7'6" rod to really lean into the fish and get good hooks into it. The last rod on my top 3 list is going to be a SCHEELS Guide Series rod. I like to have a 6.5 foot to 7 foot spinning rod rigged up on there with a 3,000 size spool. With the spool, it's a little bit bigger, so a lot of guys stray away from it just because it doesn't feel quite right in the hand. But once you fish with it, I highly recommend at least checking it out because you'll get a smoother drag system on there. You can spool some more line on there, and it's a super smooth reel. I like to rig up Suffix 832, either 10 to 15 pound braid on there. The one thing I really like about having that 6.5 foot to 7 foot rod on the spinning application is you have good control over the baits if you're sitting there drop shotting out deep or launching casts up shallow, skipping under docks. It's a short enough rod to have control over your baits, but it's also a long enough rod to, if you are fishing smallmouth and they take off running and they're fighting like crazy, you can still keep that fish pinned if you have like a medium fast rod because it's got a soft tip on there. So if you have any other questions about our SCHEELS rods, setups, anything at all about fishing, stop in at one of your local SCHEELS stores or shop online at scheels.com.